What is up, everybody? Oh man, Logan, welcome to my channel. Today I am talking about the Xbox and Bethesda E3 showcase and kind of give you my pros, my cons, what I liked, what I didn't like, what I'm concerned about, what excites me the most, and kind of give you my overall score of the conference that we saw yesterday. And so I just kind of want to talk right off the bat. They showed Starfield. They showed Starfield right off the bat, boom, which was kind of good because the trailer and the release date literally got leaked for Starfield just moments, like literally minutes before the conference came out, and I just thought that was kind of disheartening. Luckily, I stayed away from Twitter before this stuff came out, so I was able to get the fresh look at the trailer. I get to figure out. We found out obviously the release date's gonna be 11/11/2022, which I think Bethesda has kind of just made that their day. I remember Skyrim came out 11/11/11. That's one date I will forever remember for when that game came out, because it's just a whole bunch of ones. So I think they're trying to stick with 11/11. Then they can't really help with the 2022, but whatever. 11/11's their day. I'm pumped for it. They showed the alpha in-game teaser trailer, and so I'm excited to see what they're going to show more of it, when they'll show more, and stuff like that. And we got a little bit of wait for it, but it is definitely a nice showcase for something that is to come. So definitely right off the bat, boom, they got that stuff out there. Then I kind of want to talk about a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. We did get to see Halo Infinite at the E3 press conference, but it was not into the scale that I would have liked for them to have shown Halo. Last July when they did the showcase, they came out with that 8-minute footage of Halo Infinite campaign. And then, there was the whole flack about what it looked like. It didn't look next gen. It didn't look good. It didn't look like Halo. I personally, I didn't mind it, but I was fine with them taking a year to, make the game better, make it look better. Whatever they had to do on it, I was okay with the delay. Didn't bother me. But I just thought it was weird that they didn't have any type of in-game, in-depth, like campaign play, like gameplay. I think a lot of people were wanting to see what this year of work has brought from last July to almost a year later. I think a lot of people want to see, do a comparison between last July showcase and this June's E3 showcase. How far has this game come along that you guys have taken this year to, delay the game? And that's okay. I'd rather not have another Cyberpunk. I'm okay with them delaying a game. But then they didn't even give us a definitive release date, which kind of scares me as well. Because as we all know, last year they said that Halo Infinite would come out in holiday of 2020. Well, spoiler, it's June 2021 and we do not have Halo Infinite in our hands. So for them to not have a definite release date for Halo Infinite, but have, and I know Bethesda and Xbox are two different entities just in kind of the same bowl now, as Microsoft acquired them. But for Bethesda to know that they have a launch date of 11/11/22 for Starfield, and Xbox to not know of their release date for this holiday for Halo, just is a little bit alarming to me. I think I for some reason I feel like Xbox and 343 are a little afraid to show Halo. I think they're afraid to show a lot of it because they got so much scrutiny and criticism from the last time that they showed off the game in an extended manner. But I just think that it just makes them look like they're afraid. And I think if we as the consumers and we as the gamers and the fans of these series can see that the company that this game is in their hands with, they have full control of the game. If they're scared and afraid to show it off to their fans, what does that mean? What does that mean? That the game still doesn't look good? Is it not going to be great? I mean, from what they showed of the little bit of the little like I think about 10 seconds of campaign gameplay, I mean, it looked like Halo, looked good, and they showed the cutscene with Master Chief and the AI, and stuff like that, and they just didn't show like very in-depth gameplay. Obviously, they showed the multiplayer. I'll say that the multiplayer did look good. It looked like Halo. I kind of like the look of it better than Halo 5. I wasn't a big fan of Halo 5's multiplayer, even though I know a lot of people are. I did dig like the grappling hook, being able to grab stuff, grab weapons, grab explosives, chuck them at cars, stuff like that. It definitely looks like it's going to be a bloody good time. And it is nice that the multiplayer is going to be free for all across all platforms, Xbox One, Xbox Series, consoles, and PCs. So it's going to have a big online engagement right off the bat, and it will probably keep, that engagement for a very long time. As you know, the one thing that Halo has, I talked about in my breakdown of the systems, is Halo, or not Halo, but Xbox has longevity in a lot of their titles. If you look at Halo, you look at Gears of War, you look at Forza, those games are still very active and online. You can easily hop into matches, find people to play with, and find friends that would be down where you don't necessarily have that on the PlayStation side. So them opening up to cross play and cross uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Cross progression. Sorry, that was the word I was looking for. Like cross progression, so you can play on Xbox, and if you want to go play on PC, you can boot up the game, play it on PC. If you're over at a friend's house and all you got's Xbox One, boom, you boot it up on Xbox One and play it. So cross progression across all three platforms is really nice, because you don't have to restart your account as well over and over. And I think that's a big win on the Xbox side, because it's gonna show that they're for real about the Xbox Halo multiplayer universe, and making sure that it's gonna be thriving and successful. So, but my like I said, my down take, which is probably the only reason I'm scoring this whole entire E3 down a couple points, because I think if they would have gave a definite release date and gave more single player campaign to Halo, I think it would have been a 10 out of 10 easy. The kind of other thing that to note, sorry, with my stuttering right there, the kind of nice thing to note is that out of the 30 games that they showed at this conference, 27 of them are coming to Game Pass, and I think that's a huge thing. Regardless if they're multi-plats, timed exclusives, whatever, the fact that they're coming day one on release date to Game Pass, and as long as you're a subscriber, whether it be that you've been subscribed for 3 months, or paying 3 months for $1, deal, something like that, or being subscribed at $15 a month, I think you are going to be set for a while being a Game Pass subscriber. I mean, you just look at just this year alone. I mean, obviously, on the day of the conference, they put out Yakuza Like a Dragon, so now you got the whole entire Yakuza series to play through. We got Dark Alliance, which is multi-plats, coming out in June. Then if you look at, if you're a Game Pass subscriber, dude, you are set for the rest of this year game. You got in July, you got the Sense coming out, you got Microsoft Flight Simulators coming out, which is not going to be on Xbox One. It's going to be a Series X and S exclusive. You have 12 Minutes is coming out in August. You have Psychonauts, which it's going to be multi-plat for Psychonauts 2. But guess what? If you're a Game Pass subscriber, the $60 you don't have to pay. If you want to play it on PC, or not, not PC. I'm sorry, PlayStation. If you want to play it on, say, PlayStation, Xbox's competitor, you're gonna have to pay $60. It's $60 for that game. So that's crazy to see, that big difference there. If you're looking at, a system that's gonna save you a ton of money. I know this year alone I've saved over $300 and some just alone playing games on Game Pass. Buy an Xbox, you can get all these. Buy an Xbox, get subscribed to Game Pass, and then you're set. Not only do you have all those games, but you also got Forza Horizon 5 is coming out. Then you also that's November that's coming out. And then we got Halo Infinite whenever that's coming out, and we got Halo Infinite. But then there's also some of the stuff that doesn't have release dates that's gonna be coming out. We still haven't seen Scorn. We still haven't seen anything with the Gunk. Those games are still slated to be in 2021, and those are going to be on Game Pass as well. So I mean, you're gonna have a plethora of games to play this year. And then they kind of even set up for if we're just talking about Game Pass in general, I mean, they set up a bunch of stuff that's going to be coming out next year as well. I think they got tons of stuff that's going to be in there. And then you also got to look at, if you want to look at another third-party big title, Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood is going to be on Game Pass. It's another $60. I mean, if you just add up the total of these games that's going to be coming day and date on Game Pass over and over and over, compared to the competitor that you have to pay for them, I mean, the Xbox, platform, I mean, regardless of what you want to play on, if you want to play on PC and subscribe to Game Pass, it's fine. Like I recommend Game Pass as like a money saver because gaming is an expensive hobby. It just is. So for Game Pass Ultimate to be out there and say, hey, for $15, did you get a plethora of games? I mean, that's crazy to think of it that way. I mean, you got the Ascent in July. I mean, you just there's so many titles that I'm like forgetting about stuff. And I know in June they're doing the update for Sea of Thieves for Pirates of the Caribbean, and I think that might pull me into Sea of Thieves. I wasn't big into Sea of Thieves because it was kind of like make your own adventure, and I didn't have a lot of friends who play co-op with it at the time of its release. So it was kind of like if you played it by yourself, you didn't have a fun time. So I'm kind of interested. I might boot up the Pirates of the Caribbean expansion for Sea of Thieves to see if it's more narrative based, and if I could play it by myself. If not, I might try to see. I know I got a couple buddies that have been thinking about trying to get into Sea of Thieves. I might hit them up and say, hey, there's a new update coming out for Sea of Thieves. So that did come out. And so not only did they, give us a big line of stuff that's going to be coming out, for the remainder of this year, they showed off stuff that's going to be on Game Pass next year. Now, regardless of these, like I said, regardless of these being third-party titles or temporary timed exclusives like Stalker 2, I think the 6-month exclusive to the Xbox platform, still, regardless, if you're on Xbox platform, you got Game Pass, you're getting these games day one. So, like, there's a Plague Tale Requiem, which I can't stress this enough. If you've never played a Plague Tale's Innocence, do whatever you can to play that game. That game is phenomenal. It was one of my favorite games that I found on Game Pass that I figured I'd try out, and I loved it. So for the sequel to come out on Game Pass day one, I am all about that. One of the surprise games that, like, when I was watching it and stuff, I was very taken back by how good it looked, and I'm not big into like side scrollers as much, but Replaced, like, that came out of left field, and I was like, it looks like kind of like a 2D, but like not super 2D. It's just, it just looked good. It looked like a 2D side scroller that was kind of like a John Wick game, and I was kind of pumped for it. I was like, what is this game that's being shown in front of me? And that will be coming out next year on Game Pass. So then you have Redfall, which was the big announcement that they saved for kind of the end of showing, minus the Xbox mini fridge, which I might talk about that. But Redfall was their big showing, and yeah, it was a CG trailer. They didn't show any gameplay and stuff like that, I think, but they did give it a 2022 release date. And you kind of got the premise of what it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be a co-op game where each character that you choose and pick has different special abilities that they can use, and it looks like you're fighting kind of hordes of vampires and stuff like that. And I'm kind of amped for it. It looked good. Then there was also Somerville. That was exciting to me. I like the art style, the kind of feel for that game as well. So they just kind of had, not only did they give you a big list of stuff that's coming out in 2021, but they gave you what to look forward to in 2022. And that's negating the fact that they didn't talk about Fable, they didn't talk about Perfect Dark, they didn't bring up, which the one thing I'll put it on my notes, but they didn't show Hellblade, which I'm still like I'm confused of why there's no Hellblade being shown, because Hellblade 2 was shown off in December of 2019 at the Game Awards, so I would think that by now there would be something tangible to look at, but it's whatever. I still feel like, even with those, which, by the way, if we want to talk about Fable, I'll go back to Horizon that got announced. If Fable can look anything like what Forza Horizon 5 is gonna look like, I'm there. I'm there day one, man. Forza Horizon 5 was like an absolute insane game to look at. I know it's a racing game. I'm not super big into racing games. Forza is about the only series that I've actually in-depthly played, other than I played Dirt 5, and I enjoyed that. I think I kind of more like the arcadey style racing games, but I'm definitely going to give Forza Horizon 5 a chance, because that game just looks phenomenal. And they showed it, captured at 4K running on the Xbox Series X in real time, so that can put that away where people are like, yeah, they don't show gameplay on the Series X. That can put that to rest. because I just dug that. But then I guess that brings me to where I was complaining about, you know, not showing Halo very much. I feel like they did show Forza a little too much. I thought, you know, if you go off of, if I pull out my Xbox Series Xbox, like the dude that's on the back of that box is not a car. That's Master Chief. So for them to have, like, they kind of held Forza Horizon 5, which, mind you, it's a newer game that they just announced is coming out this year. But the whole Forza Horizon 5 higher than, you know, Halo Infinite, I just thought was kind of weird. I thought, like, as much as I like what they showed of Forza Horizon 5, I think that the very in-depth gameplay, like, spiel that they kept on going on, like, they was like, oh, look at this beautiful area, then the car takes off, and they're like, oh, look at this beautiful area, and the car takes off. I just think that overstayed its welcome. I think they could have cut that. I wish they would have cut that segment down a little bit, made it a little bit more condensed, and like basically like reversed it. So it gave us a more in-depth look at Halo Infinite, and then just kind of popped out Forza Horizon 5 and stuff like that. So I just, that was my other little gripe. I'm like, you're doing my boy Halo a little dirty here with Forza. I was like, hey, come on. But yeah, it's just yeah, it's crazy to see. Then there was, so like the unknown release dates that we didn't really get. I don't think they even confirmed 2021 or 2022. But it looked great to me. It was Atomic Heart. That came out of nowhere. They showed off Atomic Heart. And I was like, whoa, this came out of left field, and it's gonna be on Game Pass. So I'm excited about Atomic Heart. Kind of gives me BioShock vibes, and so I'm pumped for that. Like we're stocked for like games from starting here in July to like next spring/summer. We're just game after game after game, and you gotta love to see it. You know, the whole narrative that Xbox has no games, I think, is very much dead. We can squash that down into the ground. I don't think we need to be saying that anymore, because they are coming in. They're coming in swinging, and they're doing it at a steal, just an absolute steal, man. I just can't imagine like the money that, you know, that's the thing. You know, if you're subscribed to Game Pass, like it's because you get a huge amount of value for a little amount of money. I think that's just phenomenal what they're doing. 27 out of 30 games were shown on Game Pass, are going to be available the day that they release on Game Pass. So I'm pumped for that. But back to my other thing is I thought it was nice that they showed Slime Rancher 2. That kind of came out of left field for me. But I dug what Slime Rancher 2 looked like. I thought it looked great. And it just looked like something fun that's going to be a nice time killer and stuff, and that's coming to Game Pass. Like I said, if you're doing a drinking game of how many times I've said Game Pass, be prepared to take at least one more shot of, because you know Game Pass is great. But without with that being said, I'm gonna end this video. I kind of want to see what your guys' views and opinions of the Xbox E3 conference was. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was very solid. I thought they did a lot better than the recent years. They came out, they showed games, they focused on strictly games, and there is still tons of more that we're going to be seeing down the road. So I'm glad that they didn't waste any time on stuff that's going to be 2023, which I think is why we didn't see Fable, we didn't see Perfect Dark, we didn't see Hellblade. I think those games are going to be late 2022 or 2023. But I think that what they're giving us to fill that gap till those come out, I think is more than enough. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. What would you score it? I said 8 out of 10. I'm really only knocking it because of what they did to Halo. I'm a little salty. I think if they would have done that, it would have been an easy 10 out of 10. But I'm giving this conference an 8 out of 10. So let me know what you guys think down below. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you want to keep up to date with more of the stuff that I'll be putting out. And if you do, I'll have my Twitch link down below if you want to follow me on Twitch. I stream on Twitch almost, you know, daily. So playing tons of games right now, playing Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. So without that, I will catch you guys next time, and peace.